In this highly controversial Circuits of the Past video, we'll show you the most overrated F1 circuits of all time. Some of you may become quite angry watching this video because maybe your favourite circuit's in the list. But before you write angry, ugly comments down below, please make sure you watch the video to the end. Some time ago you could see polls under the community tab of the Circuits of the Past YouTube channel with the question, which circuit do you think has the most boring layout? The number of votes determined the ranking for this video for the most overrated F1 circuits of all time. Even during those polls, people were getting irritated by the circuits that they could vote on and started posting venomous responses. So, deep breath, brace for impact, and welcome to this video where we're going to explain what the most voted overestimated circuits were. Number 10, Albert Park. The Albert Park circuit, situated in Melbourne, Australia, has hosted the Australian Grand Prix since 1996, and it took over from Adelaide. Whilst its picturesque parkland setting and vibrant city atmosphere have made it into a fan favourite venue, the circuit's design has faced significant criticism over the years. The track layout is dominated by slow corners and full throttle sections, creating a bit of a stop-and-go racing experience. Although a partial redesign in 2022 removed a chicane and added a fourth DRS zone, it was intended to enhance the flow and promoting overtaking. These changes generally have only brought minor improvements. One of the circuit's few highlights is the high-speed combination of turns 11 and 12, offering a rare glimpse of the exhilarating cornering that fans expect from Formula 1. However, most of the other corners are tight, slow and followed by straights, making the overall layout feel disjointed and somewhat less dynamic than many other circuits on the calendar. For these reasons, Albert Park Circuit has earned a spot in our ranking for the most overrated F1 tracks, coming in at number 10, as voted by you. You're to blame. Number 9, Istanbul Park. Istanbul Park, situated on the Asian side of Istanbul, Turkey, made its Formula 1 debut in 2005 and quickly earned itself a reputation as one of Hermann Tilke's most finest circuit designs. Hosting regular F1 races until 2011, the track faced financial difficulties that saw it drop off the calendar, only to return in 2020 as a stand-in during the COVID-19 pandemic, where it delivered memorable action. The heart of the Istanbul Park appeal comes from Turn 8, the famous high-speed quadruple apex corner that remains a favourite among drivers and fans alike. However, looking beyond this iconic turn, the circuit's layout is less universally praised. Whilst it does feature a mixture of challenging corners, most are followed by slow bends leading into long straights, creating a start-stop rhythm that lacks excitement. This design choice was heavily influenced by the aerodynamic characteristics of Formula 1 cars during those years, because they struggled to follow closely through high-speed corners. As a result, Tilke incorporated slow corners before straights to encourage overtaking opportunities. Whilst effective for the racing of that era, this approach often left drivers dissatisfied, as the combination of slow corners and long straights was generally regarded as being quite uninspiring. For many, the circuit's design compromises its potential to showcase driver's skill, as long straights are best preceded by challenging high-speed corners rather than hairpins. Despite its standout features like Turn 8, these criticisms place Istanbul Park at number 9 in our ranking of the most overrated F1 circuits, as voted by you. However, can I just say, it's one of my personal favourites, so leave it alone! Number 8 in what is going to appear to be a very traumatic video for me is the Autódromo Internacional de Algarve. The inclusion of the Autódromo Internacional de Algarve, commonly known as the Portimão circuit, in this list of overrated F1 tracks may come as some surprise, but as you'll see, this modern venue has its share of shortcomings despite its initial acclaim. Located in southern Portugal, the circuit opened in 2008 and quickly became a favourite for its GT and MotoGP events. Its Formula 1 debut came in 2020 during the reshuffled COVID-19 calendar, where its dramatic elevation changes captured the attention of fans and drivers alike. Think roller coaster, but in Portugal. Whilst it's not designed by the renowned Hermann Tilke, Portimão's layout, created by Ricardo Pina, exhibits many characteristics often associated with a Tilke-style circuit. A closer examination reveals significant flaws in its design. While its roller coaster-like undulations are visually striking, the layout itself is dominated by slow hairpins and gentle kinks, with few genuinely challenging corners. Even the fast right-hander leading onto the start-finish straight loses its excitement for Formula 1 cars because it can easily be taken flat out after a preceding slow corner. The real question is this: would Portimao still be so celebrated if it were completely flat? Without the dramatic elevation changes, its uninspired sequence of corners would likely relegate it to the category of generic circuit, often criticised by their lack of character and challenge. And so, whilst we're thankful for the topography, for these reasons the Portimao circuit ranks among the most overrated Formula 1 tracks, proving that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. You absolute monsters. Number 7. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, nestled on the Notre-Dame de Montréal, Canada, has been a mainstay of Formula 1 since its debut in 1978. Originally known as the Ile de Notre-Dame Circuit, it was renamed in 1982 to honour Gilles Villeneuve, the beloved Canadian driver who tragically lost his life that year in Zolder in Belgium. Famous for its high-speed straights, tight chicanes and the legendary Wall of Champions, the circuit has hosted countless dramatic moments. Its picturesque setting, surrounded by the St Lawrence River, undeniably adds to its allure, making it a favourite among fans and drivers alike. However, out comes Herman with his magnifying glass. Upon closer inspection, don't do this to me, Herman, and the layout reveals a different story. Does it? The track is essentially a flat stop-and-go, compromised circuit that's almost entirely made up of chicanes, 2 hairpins and long straights. Its design prioritises braking and acceleration, offering little in the way of flowing technical challenges. If this layout were constructed today, complete with expansive modern runoff areas, it would likely be criticised as being unimaginative and dull. The circuit's charm largely relies on its historical significance, its setting and unique atmosphere, and when judged solely on its layout, it falls short of being a true classic. And so for this reason, you horrible voters, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve earns a spot on our top 10 most overrated circuits in F1 of all time. Oh god, why are we doing this to ourselves? Number 6, Monte Carlo. I need a drink. At the casino, clearly. The Monte Carlo circuit in Monaco stands as one of Formula 1's most iconic and prestigious venues. First hosting a Grand Prix in 1929, this glamorous street circuit winds through the heart of Monte Carlo, showcasing famous landmarks such as the Casino de Monte Carlo, the harbour filled with luxury yachts, and the iconic Fairmont hairpin. Despite its allure and historic significance, the Monte Carlo circuit often comes under fire for its racing limitations. The circuit's ultra-narrow streets, sharp corners and lack of overtaking zones make wheel-to-wheel combat a rarity, frequently turning races into processional events where qualifying positions heavily dictate the final outcome. The challenges have only grown worse with modern Formula 1 cars, which are wider, longer and faster than ever before. 2 out of 3 of those describing me after Christmas. These characteristics further reduce opportunities for overtaking, leading to predictable and at times uneventful races. Critics argue that while Monaco's status as a glamour and traditional circuit and event is undeniable, the track's layout no longer meets the standards of competitive racing expected in modern Formula 1. And it's sadly for that reason that the Monaco circuit has earned its place in our top 10 list of the most overrated F1 circuits of all time, as voted by you, slotting in at number 6. I will say, go and look at some of the historic events though that take place at Monte Carlo and chef's kiss. Number 5. Monza? Okay. The Monza circuit, often called the Temple of Speed, is one of the Formula 1's most historic and iconic venues. Opened in 1922 near Milan, Italy, it's the 3rd oldest purpose-built motor racing circuit in the world. Originally, the track featured a combination of high-speed road course and dramatic high-banked oval, which created one of the fastest and most thrilling layouts in motorsport history. The iconic oval with its steep banking was used in various configurations, including the infamous 10-kilometre layout, but that was phased out sadly in the 1960s due to safety concerns. Monza's modern F1 layout was introduced in 1950, and it's characterised by long straights and fast corners, making it a favourite for the high-speed racing, and produces record-breaking lap times too. However, a series of fatal accidents in the 60s and 70s led to the addition of chicanes to reduce down speeds, altering the circuit's flow. Despite its legendary status and unique atmosphere, thank you to Tifosi, Monza has faced criticism over the years for its relatively simple layout. The long straights and slow chicanes are said to lack the technical complexity of other circuits, leading some to argue that it prioritises raw power and top speed over driver skill in corners. Critics also suggest that the simplicity can sometimes result in less thrilling races. Nevertheless, Monza remains a beloved venue steeped in history, and its passionate tifosi create an unparalleled atmosphere during the Italian Grand Prix. The circuit continues to be a spiritual home for Ferrari fans and a symbol of motorsport tradition. However, you saucy bards voted Monza in at number 5 in the list of the most overrated F1 circuits of all time, and sometimes there's nothing too much to say about power and engine power getting a little moment in the sun during a Formula 1 season. And I have to say, that rings true for number 4, the Old Hockenheim. The Hockenheimring in Germany originally debuted in 1932 as a triangular street circuit, weaving its way through the town of Hockenheim and its surrounding countryside. Contrary to popular myth, it wasn't built as a test track for Mercedes-Benz. If you want 9 more myths, then I recommend our video, Top 10 Urban Myths and Misconceptions in Motorsport. From the very beginning, the circuit featured long straights through a forest, a hallmark of its layout that became a defining characteristic for decades to come. In the 1960s, the construction of a new highway cut through a part of the original track, prompting a redesign by John Hugenholtz. Reopened in 1966 as a permanent circuit, the updated Hockenheimring retained its signature high-speed straights. During the 1970s and 1980s, it incorporated chicanes to improve safety. Over the years, the track became a staple in the Formula 1 calendar, known for its incredible speeds and punishing test of engine durability. However, critics argued that it was still a very simple design, dominated by long straights and basic chicanes, so therefore it lacked technical variety and placed outsized emphasis on car performance rather than driver skill. And it's for that reason the Old Hockenheimring is on our list of the most overrated F1 circuits of all time. However, as you may all know if you're current motorsport enthusiasts, in 2002 the circuit underwent a dramatic and controversial transformation. The forest straights were removed in favour of shorter, more technical layouts designed to modernise the track, improve safety and promote closer racing. And while the new configuration certainly received praise for adapting to modern F1 standards, many fans then mourned the loss of everything that we've just voted number 4 in this list for. So maybe it's a be careful what you wish for. If you'd like more information about that controversial 2002 reconstruction, take a look at our documentary, The 2002 Hockenheim Reconstruction Controversy, The Full Facts. It's on YouTube. Number 3, Pedralbes. The Pedralbes circuit in Barcelona, Spain hosted Formula 1 races during the early years of the World Championship. Its debuts came in 1951 and it returned again in 1954 to host the Spanish Grand Prix. Situated in the upscale Pedralbes neighbourhood, the circuit featured long straights, making it one of the fastest layouts of its time. However, with the speed came those niggling safety concerns. The lack of runoff areas, combined with high speeds, drew criticisms from drivers and teams alike, especially as safety standards in motorsport were still in their infancy of getting up to scratch. Tragically, the 1955 Le Mans disaster promoted sweeping changes in racing safety, and that led to the closure of the Pedralbes as it could not meet the stricter regulations that was required. Despite its short tenure in Formula 1, the Pedralbes circuit remains part of Barcelona's motorsport history, remembered for its elegance and challenge it posed drivers of that era. However, those big long straights and slow corners actually made it probably one of the more classic stop and start circuits of its time, and so therefore you all voted it as number 3 in our top 10 of the most overrated F1 circuits of all time. Just. Number 2. Reims-Gueux. What have you done? What have you done? The Reims-Gueux circuit in France is known as Formula One's ultimate abandoned circuit. Located in the Champagne region, this high-speed street circuit first hosted a Grand Prix back in 1932. It then became a fixture of early Formula One history, hosting races from 1950 through to 1966. Renowned for its long straights and very few corners, the circuit offered breathtaking speeds but limited technical challenges, drawing criticism for its simplistic layout. Whilst thrilling for spectators, the design emphasised engine power over driver skill, and safety concerns loomed large. If we take a closer look at the layout, we can see the characteristic long straights and only 5 corners. 4 turn right, 1 turns left. And for that reason, it was ranked by you as number 2 on the most overrated Formula One circuits of all time. The circuit ultimately was deemed outdated as motorsport safety improved over time. Reims-Gueux closed in 1972, but remnants of its pit buildings and grandstands still stand, a haunting tribute to the glorious yet criticised legacy. If you want to see more footage about these haunted buildings and grandstands, we have a lot of urban exploring videos on it on this channel, so check them out after this video, because now, drum roll, we're going to reveal number 1. And in at number 1, it's the Bahrain International Circuit. The number 1 most overrated F1 track you voted for is a modern Tilkedrome. The Bahrain International Circuit, located in Sakir, made history in 2004 as the first Formula One track to take place in the Middle East. It was designed by Hermann Tilke, and it featured a modern layout with expansive runoff areas and high-tech facilities, tailored for both safety and spectator comfort. The inaugural Bahrain Grand Prix marked a milestone in F1's global expansion, cementing the circuit as a regular fixture on the calendar. However, the track's stop-and-go characteristics, with its series of tight corners and heavy braking zones, has faced criticism for disrupting the flow of racing. Like all Formula One circuits designed by Hermann Tilke, the layout consists of largely long straights and many slow corners. The few fast corners are almost immediately followed by a slow corner to brake into. Typical of the Bahrain International Circuit, though, are those tricky braking points, because they're designed to lure the drivers into making mistakes and thus create overtaking opportunities. That isn't something that happened in that god-awful 2010 layout, of which I really feel was a fever dream. What happened there? At least the weird oval version, again very simplistic, provided enough chaos to keep us amused. According to the drivers, it's a circuit where you can hardly gain any time, but instead you just lose a lot of it. And that's what makes the Bahrain International Circuit the number 1 most overrated Formula One circuit of all time. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm traumatised by voicing over this video. Quite a lot of my favourite circuits were butchered in that, so never mind. Don't get what you wish for. But before you post any angry comments down below, please allow me to close out with this. Just like you, Herman, myself, and everyone in the Circuits of the Past community, we're all motorsport fans and we love all circuits, because they're all places where motorsport takes place. However, Herman, and no doubt everyone that voted in those polls, look at circuits with a critical eye, and so it doesn't always mean that we're going to go along with the general opinions and consensus, because we're a little subset of the motorsport community. That being said, we hope you found this video informative and entertaining, and we ask that you like the video if you did so, and pop a little comment down below, maybe to stick up for one of your favourite circuits that got butchered in this poll, or maybe point out one that maybe was missed that you thought you'd see on there. If you'd like to know more about the race circuits of the Past, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to visit the website circuitsofthepast.com, where you can download a free ebook about 7 abandoned race circuits that you can visit legally. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on our next, controversial or not, video. Whew. Right, where's that drinks cabinet?